Every nation has their place that they like to go when they've consumed a little bit of alcohol and the night is drawing to an end and they like to go somewhere and have something to eat. In the UK, that could be Indian restaurants or maybe even a kebab shop. In America, I am reliably informed that particular place is a Taco Bell, which is where the Americans go to soak up the beers. So what about Thailand? Have they got a place like this? Well, the answer is yes. And if you've been here in Pattaya for a while, you will have no doubt heard a girl say, "Bye, Moo Gata." Bye means go. Moo Gata. Moo Gata. What is Moo Gata? A lot of people translate it incorrectly, in my opinion, as Thai barbecue. It's not. There is an actual Thai barbecue, but the words Moo Gata don't mean Thai barbecue. The words Moo Gata, the Moo means pig or pork, and Gata, or it's actually spelled Grata, is the cooking implement that the pork is cooked on. It's like, I think, a pork hot pot. That is the best translation. So, Moo Gata, pork hot pot. What's it all about? There is a certain etiquette to this thing. It's very much a community event, and also I have to say it's the only meal you eat where it gets more and more delicious as the night goes on. Let's dive into the world of Moo Gata. Moo Gata restaurants can be found all over Thailand. In Pattaya, you can kind of find them everywhere. There's one in Tree Town, but mainly they are in places where you'll find a lot of Thai nightlife and not necessarily too many Parang. So, South Pattaya Road, there's quite a lot. Huge Thai nightlife area there. Also, the crossroads down by 3rd Road and North Pattaya Road, and around North Pattaya Road at the bottom and the back of the old Big C, that place as well has got a lot of Moo Gata. But this one here is in Jom Tien. First thing to say, when you come into the restaurant, right, you will probably have a big entourage because it's a community event, as I said. There will be the lady who you may like and have your eyes on, and she will bring like 2, 3, 4, 5 of her friends. Don't worry, it's not expensive. It's quite cheap to eat here, and I actually think it gives the girl a little bit of face if you come and you're obviously going to pay the bill, but don't worry, the bill's not going to be that much. So the first thing I do when I arrive at a Moo Gata is I do a bit of a recce on the sound system, because as you can probably hear, Thai venues are the same as bars are seeming to be now everywhere over Pattaya, and that is they are very loud, and they're usually playing sort of Isan country music at ear-bleeding levels. So try and locate the speakers. If you're like me and a bit sensitive to audio, try and locate the speakers, find out where it's coming out of, and then just try and sit as far away as possible. And I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. You probably can. Right, let me tell you, this is as far away from the speakers as possible. So God help you if you're really close to them. Mind you, they do say if you're a little bit drunk, the first thing to go is your hearing. You'll get a menu in Thai, usually in a Thai language, and it will have a lot of things on there that aren't Moo Gata. It'll be like an a la carte menu for all things Thai food. But the Moo Gata is usually at the start, and you order the food as either as a chut, and chut means set, so you can get a chut lek or chut yai. That means small set or big set. Usually go for the big set, and actually there's a lot of you have 2 sets, right? And when a set comes, you will see that it is basically some really cheap cuts of pork. Sometimes there's a bit of chicken in there, sometimes there's liver, and you can also order seafood as an extra. Be careful of the seafood, because every time I hear people, especially phalangs that have got upset stomachs or whatever, it usually is because they've eaten seafood the night before. So be careful if you're ordering seafood. And so that will come, and then next thing that comes will be the gata. Okay, so the moo means pork, and the grata is the cooking implement, and it's, well, you can see from here, it's kind of like a big bowl of metal which will conduct heat, and in the middle it's kind of raised, so to create a kind of a moat, right? I'm British, we build castles, it's a moat, right? And basically what happens is, in your chut or set on the plate, you will get a big white piece of meat. It's not meat. Well, it is. It's fat. It's pork fat. First thing to do, whack the pork fat on the top of the gratin and coat the gratin so it's sort of kind of nice and greasy and the food isn't going to stick to it. After that, help yourself to the pork or whatever meat that you've ordered in the set. You will find that somebody will bring an old-fashioned kettle, the sort of thing that your grandmother used to cook on the stove during the war, right? And that will be full of water. Sometimes it's just hot water. Sometimes, if you go to certain Moo Gata, they will put things like monosodium glutamate or flavourings in there. One that I went to was really, you could tell. There's a thing over here in Thailand, a flavouring called roti. It basically means good flavour, roti. And you could tell that the soup and the water in the kettle had got that in it, because the soup tasted really nice right from the start, which isn't usual, because usually it's just plain water. So be careful if you are a bit allergic to monosodium glutamate. It's usually in the soup. Add the soup first of all, and you will notice that when they bring the gata, underneath there are hot coals. Now sometimes they bring the hot coals first and then put the gata on top and then the water, but basically the heat isn't electric, isn't gas, it is from hot coals, and they're real. So be careful, folks. If you're a bit drunk and you're swaying around the place, and you be careful, because some guy's going to come with a big sort of cauldron full of hot coals and probably burn you. I've never seen an accident happen in a Moo Gata restaurant like that, but trust me, I'm always a bit wary, and I always make sure I clear my mobile phone and anything that's valuable off the table until that is nicely sort of sat down, and then the fun begins, because then you start adding the food. So the lady who is the queen bee of your party that's gone, she will usually stand up and start putting the pork and also vegetables into the moat. The pork will go on the raised bit of the gata. It's easier for me to just show you on a video. Right, now here's the fun thing, right? I used to be a manager of a bar in England, and part of that was that I went on a food hygiene course in England, right? Birmingham City Council. And it was 2 days, and they just drilled into you, right? If you have cold meat, it must go here, and you must keep it separate from cooked meat. And if you have cooked chicken and cooked fowl and cooked food, cooked seafood, you must keep that away from raw seafood and raw fowl, and you must have different coloured serving boards and utensils, and you must keep it all really separate, right? And it's really good advice, right? Because salmonella and everything. Right, off we come to Thailand, right? And you get chopsticks. You pick up the raw pork or whatever the meat is with your chopsticks, put it onto the gata, right? Wait for it to cook, turn it over with the same chopsticks that have touched the raw pork, and then take it off the gata and put it in your mouth, or put it into a bowl, which then goes into your mouth, right? Completely walking over all the health and safety and food hygiene that you're taught in the UK. But you know what? I've been here for 16 years, and I don't eat Moo Gata all the time, but I've never ever had a problem with having a dicky tummy or getting any kind of salmonella poisoning. So there must be a reason why. Maybe the wood on the chopsticks doesn't transmit salmonella, or because it's so hot it just kills it. I don't know. I'm not a food hygienist, but basically that is it. raw food onto the gata, cooked food, same chopsticks in your mouth, no problem. Right, good luck with that one. The food itself isn't spicy, but they bring you a bowl of red hot chili sauce, which is called nam jim, and I never take nam jim, but they will use it as the Thais will dunk their pork into the nam jim. And trust me, if this is a first date for you and maybe you're going to get romantic afterwards back at your hotel or whatever, you will remember this. You will be able to taste the nam jim because it will stay on your lady's breath for a couple of days. It's full of chilies, full of garlic, and the deliciousness of grilled pork comes from the dipping sauce, right? It's a dipping sauce, and the Thais love it because of the nam jim. Personally, I like my mouth to be in one piece by the end of the night, so I don't use it. But if you're really looking for something a little bit spicy, go extra on the nam jim or the chili sauce and enjoy. Now, like I said earlier, I think this is the only meal that you eat that it gets more delicious as you go on, because the design of the grata is very clever, because the juices of the grilled pork as it comes down will go into the moat, or whatever you want to call it, and into the soup or the boiling water, which has already been flavoured maybe by monosodium glutamate, but also the vegetables, and sometimes they put like a boiled egg in there. I don't know quite why they do that, but they do. It all goes in the water, and the soup, if you're like me and you're a big soup fan, will get juicier and saltier and more delicious because all those juices are going into it. A bit like the gravy, I suppose, in a Sunday roast or something. The more meat juices in there, the better. So that is it. Most importantly, make sure that you go and you behave yourself here. I mean, that's a kind of a good thing to do all the time in Pattaya, but especially in these places. I've seen signs up in Moo Gata restaurants on the South Pattaya Road that say that if you start a fight or you're involved in any kind of altercation, you will get fined 20,000 baht. I've never seen anything like that go on, but let's face it, it's late at night, there's a lot of drunken people around, you might be drunk, there might be some Thai guys coming in that are drunk, you're with Thai girls, you know, it is a recipe for possibly an issue. But I'll say this, I'll say it again, I've never seen anything like that, but it could happen, so be on your best behaviour. The whole thing the food will cost between about 300 and 500, 600 baht. Nothing really, and it will feed a good sort of 4, 5, 6 people if you have them with you. Drinks are different, right? And you will get people that sometimes bring in their own bottle into the Moo Gata. Not quite sure of why that works and the economies on that, but you'll be able to buy bottles of Thai whiskey here quite cheaply, maybe even things like Johnny Red, Johnny Black, if you really want to splash out. And you will also get offered water, which is what I always drink, or Coke, and it'll be full strength Coke, and for some bizarre reason they do not provide Coke Zero or sugar-free Coke. I've never understood why that is, but there you go, it's their restaurants on mine. But every single one that I've been to is the same. You will find Moo Gata restaurants all over Thailand, especially in Isan. The girls love it, you know, and you will really make a lot of brownie points with your lady if you bring her and her friends and have fun in the Moo Gata. Thank you for watching, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed that. I will see you again at Le Pub on Soy Diamond. That is where I work. It's my bar. And I'm there from 4 o'clock most days. Please come early because I've not been too well lately. So by about 10 o'clock, I start to wilt. So come on in and say hello. There is also a members area on this channel where you can watch VIP content, which is pay-per-view. From just £2 a month, we do a vlog every week and also special live streams as well. And all the money raised goes to pay for the equipment for the channel. Those live streams are expensive. Thank you very much for watching. Go to Moo Gata late at night and have a great time. But for me, Mr. Egg, take care and see you soon. Bye.